Before the resurrection, we can see the tomb of Jesus. The tomb is a new structure from the 19th century that was built on top of that tomb itself that had been destroyed a few times. Sadly, there's now queues line, but not a lot, I must say, and it's beautiful to see that tourists are arriving to Israel. If you want to know what should you do to enter, then just go to my Facebook account and look for it. I mean, when everything now it's even easier to enter. People who took the vaccine or not can enter to Israel now without any problem. Then the tomb is supposed to be a cave, but it doesn't look like a cave. For that, we will enter to another place here to show you that in the first century it was a Jewish cemetery here. It was a Jewish cemetery, but before that you must understand that that area was belonged to Joseph of Arimathea, but most of the church belongs to King Herod. He used it as a quarry for the temple and for his palace, and after he died, the Jews used it as a cemetery, but the Romans took that place and used it as a crucifixion area. That's why it is very close to the garden of Joseph. And let us enter to see how a cave from the time of Jesus looked like. Here it is. Now, this is one of the most important churches in the world. But look what's happening here. It doesn't look like it, isn't it? It doesn't look like it because the bad thing of a place that owns by everyone is that everyone wants that place. And that's true to most of the church. Then there is a huge debate between the Armenian and the Syriac Church and even the Ethiopians about who owns the place. But here you are. You can see another wall from the 4th century built by St. Helen and Constantine. It used to be very beautiful. It used to be decorated with a marble. You can see the holes for that to hold the marble, but it's been robbed by everyone who destroyed the church, the Persian, the Muslims. And here you can see that that they decorated that area with massive things like good stones and marble. You can see the difference between so many holes here to few holes all around. Why? Because here, and I'll use the flashlight, here you can find a tomb from the time of Jesus. It's a Jewish cemetery of a family who've been here. And we will ask ourselves, who is that family? That one that you see to your left side is part of the 4th century church. They actually didn't mind about what's happening here. Here you can see 2 niches, but that one is closed. And that one is closed too. You can see those 2 are closed. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5, because that wall actually maybe destroy some of those places. And let me go outside because it's too small for me. I have to take care that I won't knock my head here. And I didn't. Yeah, I'm a brave guy. Then let's talk about it. You see the niches in Hebrew and English. It's called kuchim. Kuch, it's one, and kuchim, it's plural. Then in those kuchim, they used to put the body of the dead. The legs were outside, I mean in our side, just next to the stone. Why? Because the Jews believe that the soul is in the body for the first 3 days. But what will happen if someone will resurrect, or maybe he didn't die, he can kick the stone that covered the niche and go outside. Usually if someone is doing it, it means that it's happened. And don't forget Jesus. At the 3rd day, you know what's happened to him. Then you saw 5 or 6 niches. What will happen to the 7th guy? It's a family tomb, but there's no more space. And to have another cave like that, it's not easy. Then they will take out the body, the bones of the oldest one, and I will put it in a small box by the name ossuary. And next to it is usually a storeroom. They will put the bones together with others. That's how Jesus was buried. And before we will ask the question, who is buried here, let me tell you that he was buried after they purified his body and at the same day. If you remember, Simon asked Pilate. He asked the body of Jesus and he wanted to bury him at the same day. It's very important because that's how the Jews been buried. You must bury the dead at the same day, and the day ends at, let's say, sunset. Then that's why Saturday begins on Friday evening. And that's why some of the Christians' holidays, like Easter, begins at night as well. Then, in that case, who owns that place? Now, we know that Joseph of Arimathea gave Jesus his own tomb, and now, and this is the most important part, he got the tomb that no one used before. Now I think you can understand why no one used it before. That one was used so many times. And it was the garden of Joseph of Arimathea. Sorry, it wasn't Simon, it was Joseph and Nicodemus. Then Joseph of Arimathea, that was a Jew. And he was a Christian believer. He believed in Jesus, but he did it secretly because he was afraid of the Jews. Then in that case, he gave Jesus his own tomb. And then he built himself another family cemetery next to his master in his garden, which is so close to the Golgotha. And let's look for the Golgotha. But before that, I cannot enter to the tomb with the camera. It's not allowed to take pictures there, especially when there are so many people. From time to time, they let me do that, but I'm not even asking now. You can see that there's a small line, but this is nothing. This is of 10, 15 minutes. Then, in that matter, the tomb used to be exactly like that cave.
No flash.
I know. Oh, there's flash here. Sorry, I didn't see it. Yeah. All right, good. He actually saved me because of flash takes a lot of the battery. Then there's two chapels here. The first one, you can see the candlelight. This is the chapel of the angels who took care that no one will steal the body of Christ. The inner chapel is the tomb. Then you can see the sarcophagus of Jesus, and then and now, later on, I will enter without a camera and bless it for you. But you can actually see that it was blessed right here. The cross is made of olive wood. And this is what we believe the tree, kind of the tree that Jesus was crucified on. And we're going backward. It's a big Muslim group. Now, what the Muslims are doing here in the church? The Muslims believe in Jesus in a different way. The Muslims believe that Jesus was a human being and a prophet, but not the last prophet, because the last prophet is and will be Muhammad. Then you can see a lot of Muslims groups inside the church. We are at the Armenian chapel, and the Armenian believes that the ladies saw the crucifixion from here. It means that the crucifixion spot is not so far away, and it's right there. See that building? See people on standing? It looks like on top of a balcony. The Christians built here a kind of a plaza that people will be able to see the crucifixion spot, and not, to see it eye to eye, and not from here to there. That we are going backward. We saw the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, and we saw the tomb that Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus gave to Jesus, and you can see that it's a cave. And you can see here so many figures, but the most important two here, or three, is Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus, and of course Mary the mother. Joseph, Nicodemus with the green one, John the disciple, Joseph of Arimathea with the beard, and Mary next to him, holding the head of her son.